Welcome back, strangers. Hello, it's me. I'm back. I have no idea how long it's been since we've done any work on the van. It must be like 12 months now. However, some footage that was featured in this episode was filmed back then, and some about last week as well. So please excuse any continuity errors. In this episode, we will be covering the electrics. To start this journey, I contacted Tom from Tinybuildelctrics.
I always like to start things off just by getting a little bit of background about yourself, really. So, you know, what's your background? What's this build going to be? What does the future hold for you with the build? What are you hoping to achieve?
Cool. He took all the information down about where I'm going, whether I wanted it to be off-grid, whether I wanted a hookup for when I visit campsites, what type of electrical items I would consider necessary, and how much I'd want to run at one time. This was a very handy first step, as it helped build the foundations of me understanding the electrics required for this van.
Well, I can get to work with your paperwork, and then as soon as I've got that together, I can get the quotes put together, and then I'll get those quotes over to you, and then I'll shoot them over to you in an email, and then the ball will be in your court, really, to have a little look at those and see what you think.
Brilliant.
And then, again, you know, should you wish to move forward with either one of them, or amend them at all, just let me know, and then we can take it from there, mate.
So as he stated there, he would take all this information that he just asked of me, and he would create a schematic of everything that I would need. He would then send me some useful bits of information about batteries and things like that. And then he would also send me a couple quotes.
All the best, mate. Speak soon. Have a great weekend.
And you, take care.
Bye now.
Ta-da. After which point I decided to go independently and source everything that he listed in these quotes by myself. This company offers a fantastic service by supplying everything you'll need, as well as a massive channel support if you need it. So from this point I scoured the internet, searching for the cheapest places I could find to get these bits of equipment, just to see if I could do it cheaper myself, and eventually I got everything. The first thing we did was make a bracket for the solar panels, so that they would sit on the roof rack. You know, the one from the previous episode? We did this by getting some right angle brackets, drilling the holes to rivet the panels into them, and then placing them on the roof rack and bolting them in. I don't have any footage of this, as I guess we were just so excited to do it. But believe me when I say these solar panels that I got are fucking tough. So, good job, Craig Solar. To get an understanding of where I wanted everything to go, I kind of used the old floorboards as a 2D template, laying each plug socket down, and admittedly this doesn't look very impressive. So I acquired the help of someone with a much better artistic eye than me and had a bit of concept art made. During the downtime, I looked at the wiring schematic that Tom sent me. I made a layout of what I wanted on the electrical board. After a few attempts, I came up with this, and then I set it up in the back. And then, unfortunately, this is where it all came to a bit of a halt. With Christmas fast approaching, we all took a bit of a break, which lasted a little bit longer than planned. It became a bit of a challenge for Martin and myself to find a weekend where we were both free to spend a full, weekend doing the wiring. So it is now May. I've had a little bit of time off work, just being able to grow the beard. I had a little bit of an injury, so I've had plenty of time to think about things. So I really wanted to get this van project moving, especially with the electrical side. And as I said, or will be saying, there's been a bit of an issue between me and Martin being able to find free time for the both of us to do it. So while I've been off, I've made the decision to book the van into a local cab conversion place here in Pembrokeshire called R&J Campers. I'm sure they'll be fantastic. And they're more or less just going to do the pre-wiring, just get everything on that electrical board wired up, all the cables run out. I'm going to spend the first day with them, being a little bit of an apprentice, learning about things, giving them a hand if they need it, hopefully understanding the electrics a little bit better, because I am pretty gutted that I'm not going to be able to do it myself. The whole idea of this thing was to further my knowledge and give you some good content of me more or less always f***ing up, but also showing you how to do this from a realistic point of view, from a DIY point of view. So I'm a little bit gutted that I'm not going to be able to do that, but really need to get this on the go. I'm also hoping that we're not going to run into any problems, because I have had an issue with one of the batteries that I purchased, that it's my fault really. I took a corner a little bit sharp and it flung across the van and it sort of leaked everywhere. So they're going to test that for me, and hopefully we'll be able to use both the batteries. If not, they can run it with the one, see how we get on, and if it's really bad, then I guess that's more expense on my behalf from more cock-ups. But I guess we will see, and we are pretty much here now. Right, okay, let's get to the main point that everyone wants to see, is me try and explain this electrical board. Okay, I have no idea how well this is going to go, but I'll try it anyway. So at the top of the board here we have the DC to DC charger, also known as a battery to battery charger. This converts the output from your primary battery and charges your secondary battery using optical charge. In short, this charges the leisure battery from the vehicle battery when running. It's Bluetooth monitored, so I can monitor it on my phone. The connection is it has a positive and negative feed from the vehicle battery and a positive and negative feed to the links. Below it we have the MPPT. The MPPT, or maximum power point tracker, is an electronic DC to DC converter that optimizes the match between the solar panels and the battery bank. They convert a higher voltage of DC output from the solar panels down to the lower voltage needed to charge the batteries. The connection for this is from the solar panel, which is on the roof over there, to the switch here, to the PV slot there, and then from the battery slot to the links. To the right of this we have the fuse box. This fuse box holds up to about 12 applications. That would be 12 12-volt applications, such as 12-volt lights, 12-volt fridges, 12-volt TV, etc. The negative runs from the top into the links and the positive runs to the links, passing through the battery protect there. The battery protect protects the battery against excessive discharge and can be used as a system on and off switch. The smart battery protect disconnects the battery from non-essential loads before it completely discharged, which will damage the battery, or before it has insufficient power left to charge. The link switch is down below. This big boy here is a modular DC bus bar used to connect the batteries to the links DC distribution system. This is the house. This is where the power goes in and then gets distributed between everything on the board. Below it we have the inverter. This converts DC power from the grid into AC before it reaches the unit, which improves energy efficiency. This will be used to power the 230 volt. Both negative and positive run into the links. This big red block here just below is the main switch for everything, so that's the kill switch. And over here is the smart shunt. The smart shunt is a battery monitor which measures the battery voltage and current. Based on these measurements, it calculates the battery state of charge and the time for it to charge up. That is also Bluetooth and will connect to my phone. The connection for that is negative between the leisure battery and the links. This big grey box is just the fuses for when I have a hookup, which is located underneath the van. Just there. I'm not too sure of the wirings for this, but it's all to the right there. Anyway, behind the board is where we're going to house the batteries. As you see, we're only using one battery at the moment. That's because the guys in R&J Campers said that the one battery is too damaged to use. However, Martin did a test on it and it does say that it's in good health. So we'll give it a try and find out. On the battery, which I've just stuck down, it's not fitted yet, is the smart battery sense. This basically reads how the batteries are doing, so it'll measure the temperature and the state. Right guys, I think that's going to be the end of this video. I can't think of anything that I may have missed. But anyway, I'd like to say a big thank you to Jake from R&J Campers in Pems who did this. Fantastic. I've had to visit him a couple times just so he could explain this to me a bit better, and he's done it perfectly well. So, hats off. Can't fault him. If you live in Pembrokeshire or if you're just visiting and you need some work done, I'd highly recommend them anyway. So if you cover that criteria, go for it. You will not be disappointed. The upcoming videos will hopefully be more to do with the interior, looking at stuff like the insulation of putting the boards back, or actually I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to spoil it too much for you. you'll just have to keep coming back and watching. So as always, my friends, thank you for stopping by. If you could leave a comment or a like, or if you've enjoyed this video that much, a subscribe would mean the world. So until next time, cheers. Ooh.